Welcome to 2Way Radio Shop. My name's Neve and today's video is another instalment in our 2Way Radio Tech Talk series. This video is going to cover everything you need to know about 2Way radio batteries. Having a well-maintained battery contributes to the overall performance and longevity of your 2Way radio devices. If you are experiencing 2Way radio communication issues, it's most likely a result of a faulty battery or a really old battery. So why is maintaining your 2Way radio batteries important? Firstly, if your battery isn't maintained properly, then it's not going to perform to its full capacity. Losing communication midway through a shift can leave your workers vulnerable in the event of an emergency. It's going to decrease productivity and efficiency, and it's going to end up costing you longer in the long run when you need to replace batteries before they're designed to be replaced. We're going to start by talking about the three main types of batteries that are commonly used for 2Way radios. So that's lithium-ion, NIM and Nickel-cadmium. So the first type of battery we're going to talk about is lithium-ion. This is a type of rechargeable battery that uses lithium-ion as a charge carrier. Lithium-ion is a super light metal, so these types of batteries are known for their high energy density and a lightweight design. Generally speaking, lithium-ion batteries have a longer lifespan than other rechargeable battery types. With proper care and maintenance, lithium-ion batteries are able to withstand a large number of charge and discharge cycles before they start showing signs of degrading. Although it's really rare, lithium batteries do pose safety risks of swelling, overheating and in some extreme cases, combustion. However, advancements in battery management systems have significantly reduced the risk of this happening. The second type of common battery is a NIM battery or a nickel metal hard drive battery. A NIM battery is another type of rechargeable battery that uses nickel hard drive as the electrode material. NIM batteries are considered to be more environmentally friendly than Nickel-cadmium batteries because they consider cadmium, which is a toxic heavy metal. NIM batteries are free from hazardous materials, so they're much easier to recycle. NIM batteries are more cost effective than lithium-ion batteries, so they're often a more attractive option for people looking for a balance between performance and affordability. NIM batteries have a higher energy density than Nickel-cadmium batteries, but they're lower energy density compared to lithium-ion. This just means that they won't last as long on a single charge as a lithium-ion battery would. The number of charge-discharge cycles that a NIM battery can endure is much lower than a lithium-ion battery, and this just means that it will need to be replaced quicker than a lithium-ion would. It means that its lifespan's a little bit shorter. The third type of rechargeable battery, which is much less common nowadays, is nickel-cadmium batteries, which is also Nickel-cadmium batteries. Nickel-cadmium batteries use nickel oxide, hydroxide and metallic cadmium as the electrodes in the battery. The main drawback of using this type of batteries: cadmium is a toxic heavy metal. These used to be used way more for 2Way radios, but as new technologies came around, we've kind of stepped away from using them because they aren't as environmentally friendly as the other options that we have. Now that we've talked about the common types of batteries, just wanted to quickly go over the basic working principles of a battery. On a super basic level, a battery contains chemicals, and these chemicals have a reaction that produces electric energy. Batteries have a positive and a negative terminal, and these are the points that the electrical connections are made. A word that comes up a lot when you're looking at batteries is voltage. This basically means the electrical potential difference between the positive and negative terminals. It's sort of like a push that makes the electricity flow, and it's measured in volts. You'll also see the word capacity a lot when looking at batteries, and this just relates to the amount of electrical energy that the battery can store, sort of like a fuel tank for the battery. Capacity is measured in ampere hours or milliampere hours. The main thing that you need to know about capacity is that the bigger the battery's capacity, the more energy it can hold, the longer that the battery is going to last on a single charge. So now that we know a little bit about the science behind a battery, we're going to go into how to properly look after and maintain your battery to make the most out of it. The first thing we're going to talk about is charging and discharging cycles. So you want to make sure that you're following proper charging practices, and that's starting by using a proper charger for your battery. Normally 2-way radios come with the best charger for them, but if you do need to replace the charger, you need to make sure that you're getting the correct charger to charge your battery. And then the second thing is to try and avoid prolonged charging. So only charge your battery when it needs to be charged. Don't leave it on the battery charger overnight if it doesn't need to be. The reason that we want to avoid overcharging the battery is that when you do this, it heats the battery up, and this can damage the battery's internal components, and this will drastically affect the battery's life. As a rule of thumb, when you first get a brand new battery, you want to fully charge it before first use. This is referred to as initializing the battery, and it'll help you to obtain the battery's full capacity. We would always recommend that you check what the manufacturer's recommendations are for the specific battery that you've got. For example, Motorola recommends charging a new battery for 14 to 16 hours before initial use. Intel recommends fully charging the battery before first use or within the first 3 months of receiving the battery if you are going to put it into storage. If you do want to get batteries and then store them, you need to be storing them in a proper storage area. You'll need to consider things like temperature of the storage area, the humidity in the storage area, and the battery's charge level before you put it into storage. Other stuff that you can do to look after your battery is always inspecting it before using it, checking for any physical damage on the battery, and cleaning the battery contacts. The easiest ways to identify the signs of a failing battery is reduced talk time and increased charge time of the battery. So if the battery seems to be depleting really quickly, even though it's just been on charge, and you can't use your 2-way radio for 3 hours when the battery life should be 10 hours, then that's a clear sign that the battery is probably failing. And if the battery is taking way longer to charge than it should be, you've left it on overnight and it's still just on the red charging LED light, then that's another sign that the battery is probably failing. We have a lot of Motorola radios in our hire fleet, so we're often charging them in a multi-unit charger before we send them out on the hires. On the side of the Motorola multi-unit chargers, there's a key indicator, and this basically shows you what different LED lights mean on the multi-unit charger. So green means 90% charged, stable red means charging, orange means that the battery is conditioning, and flashing red means battery failure. Motorola batteries and chargers have Impress technology, which monitors the usage of the battery. Impress technology can start a reconditioning cycle to help restore the battery to its optimal capacity. With the Impress technology, if you put it into the multi-unit charger and it lights up orange and it's gone into the conditioning state, it's advised to leave the battery for at least 8 hours to fully go through the conditioning cycle. Most 2-way radio batteries have a 12-month warranty from the manufacturer from when you've bought it. So if your battery does fail within the first 12 months, we would recommend sending it back to the manufacturer, and most likely than not, they're going to replace that battery for you. A well-maintained battery should last between 18 and 24 months. We would recommend replacing any batteries that are older than this, because even when they're well-maintained, over time they do start to naturally degrade, and as the battery starts degrading, it's going to hold less charge and it's going to start affecting your communication on your 2-way radios. When researching into 2-way radio batteries, you might have seen that most battery life goes on a 5-5-90 duty cycle. The 5-5-90 duty cycle assumes that 5% of your time you're going to be transmitting on your radio, 5% of your time you're going to be receiving on the radio, and then the other 90% of the time it's just going to be on standby waiting for a signal. And this is what most manufacturers base their battery life cycle on, this 5590 duty cycle. When you're not using your two-way radio, we would recommend removing the battery and storing it separately. This is to stop something called drainage, which is essentially where the battery self-drains even when it's not being used, so that if you then went to use the radio after it's been stored with its battery on, it's probably not going to have any charge. When the battery has came to the end of its natural life and it is ready to be replaced, please remember to discard of your batteries properly, send it into the proper battery recycling centre or take it to somewhere that will be able to deal with it accordingly. Batteries are manufactured to provide the best radio performance possible, but battery capacity does naturally decrease over time. We think it's really important that you try and implement the tips that we've shared in today's video into your larger strategy for two-way radio maintenance, repairs, troubleshooting, to ensure that your radios are performing to the best of their ability, and to keep reliable communications however you're using your radios, recreationally, for work. But that's it for today's video. We hope that you found it educational and somewhat entertaining. If there's anything else that you'd like to see from us, or if you'd like me to explain anything from today's video that might have been a little bit confusing, please either reach out to us or leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We put out two-way radio related content every other week, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.